hell are you doing here? Alright, now last time I showed you this storyboard depicting the stone money that the Yapese people were taking back from Palau to Yap. But now here's a storyboard that's carved in a much more elaborate and better style. This is a big storyboard. Why don't you take a look at the workmanship here. And here's your Bai, the house called Bai. Look at the carving on this palm tree. Very elaborate carving. And coming down you can see every bit of the board is carved. I'm just going to show you the baskets here, the skirts. Got this nice border. You have the fish, even a turtle. And then here's the breadfruit tree. Now, this is one of the themes that you see on a lot of storyboards that were sold to tourists. And this is the legend of the breadfruit tree. Now, there's several variations of this legend. One of the variations is that there was a demigoddess who taught the people how to grow taro. And that is a crop that's grown in shallow paddies, like, you know, how rice paddies are. Taro is grown in water as well, in taro patches, a wet soil. That's one version. Another version is that there was an old woman that was rather shunned by the villagers, and they left her alone. They left her behind in one story, and they went away for a while. And she was unable to grow anything for herself because she was just too old to do the field work. And all she ate was breadfruit from a breadfruit tree. And in one of the stories, this woman finds an egg. In another story, she becomes like magically and mysteriously pregnant and gives birth to a son. But in one story, she just finds this magical egg that hatches out and becomes a boy. And she raises this boy up. Now, the boy is a demigod, so he has magical powers. And he asks this old lady who has taken care of him why they only eat breadfruit from a breadfruit tree. And she says she can't go fishing because that's the men's job, and she doesn't have a canoe, and she can't grow food in a garden because she's just too old to be able to do that work. So the boy dives down under the island, and he swims under the island, and he comes up into the breadfruit tree, and he magically hollows it out, and then he cuts off one of the branches. And because he did this, the ocean, the water that's coming under the island, when the tide rises, the water comes up through the tree, and the fish are pulled up through the tree, and they come out of the tree, and they fall down, and now the old woman has fish to eat. Now, in the story, the islanders or the villagers return to the village, and they see this magical tree, and that this old woman now has fish to eat, and she doesn't have to go out, you know, and buy the fish or trade for the fish. The fish are just coming right to her. And the villagers get very jealous. Now she's also sharing the fish with the villagers here. We have all the villagers, and they're gathering up the fish here from the tree. But at some point, some of the villagers get very jealous of her, and they come and they chop down the breadfruit tree. Now, because they chopped it down in jealousy, for a punishment, the water flows up and gushes out through the stump of the breadfruit tree, and it floods the whole island, and the whole island sinks down, and the villagers are all killed. But the son of this old woman gathers her up and takes her away to save her, and takes her to another island. Now this is the story of the breadfruit tree, and maybe it has something to do with the elderly people that, you know, the villagers need to take care of the people that can't do for themselves anymore. And because they didn't, they were punished, and because of their jealousy, they were punished. So this is the story of the breadfruit tree, the legend of the breadfruit tree. And you can see this is just a gorgeously carved storyboard. Now I also got this one for a really, really low price, and I just have to tell you that because once again, the people had no idea what it was, and it, you know, it's just called a carving with palm trees. This could have been done at the prison on Palau, or it could have been done by a carver who you know, lived in a house and sold the carvings to the stores where they could be sold to tourists. And this board has a signature here. I don't know if I can quite read what it says. I might have to research into it a little more, but it's from 1990, and this is the Republic of Palau. So this could have been a prisoner in the jail, in the prison there, but whoever he was, he certainly is an expert at carving storyboards. So here we have the breadfruit legend, the legend of the breadfruit tree. And quite an elaborate board. Okay, so let's get on though to the tiki room from junk and show you what I'm doing today. Okay, I'll just show you a couple completed projects. If you saw the other video, I started stripping this mid-century modern top, and I've got 4 coats of polyurethane on it, and I think it really looks nice now. It's really shiny, and got rid of the cigarette burn as well. I think these are a little bit, just the tiniest bit you can see out there, but most of it's gone. I didn't want to sand it down too much there because I didn't want to have a concave area. But here's the tabletop, okay? And now remember, there were a little bit of water seeping up, and it doesn't really bother me much. But I'm going to see if this comes off with hydrogen peroxide. Now this is real bamboo. This is a table from probably the late 50s. And I'm just going to put a little hydrogen peroxide and see if that works. Let it sit for a few days. If that doesn't work, I might try a little bit of bleach, just the tiniest bit. I don't want big white spots on it either, but if I can bleach these dark spots out just the littlest bit, it would be good. Well, like I had said in the other video, I've been saving the cores from these garbage bags. These cores are really, really thick cardboard. They're almost like wood. And it was a shame to throw them out in the recycling. So last fall I started saving them, and I ended up with 4 of them. This one, I'm going to take this one home too when we're done with these garbage bags. Let me show you what I've been doing with them. Okay, well here's the finished trio of tiki guys made from those cores of the garbage bag rolls. And I just thought I'd do them in white and then paint them black, green, and brown just because I had the colors. And I'm just going to collect some more of these as I get them during the summer and make up some more. And they're just going to also be black, green, and brown. The first one I did was I did it in color, and it kind of looked too clowny for me, but I'm not going to paint over it. That's the first one I did. It was rather based on a tiki mug that I had seen, a ceramic tiki mug that was in these colors. But I like this better here. If you just had one, that would be okay. But if I'm going to have a whole row of these, I'd rather just have them these two tones. And I think we'll stick with the three colors I have here. The green, the brown, and the black.